going to talk about people who believe things and act out things, who live their lives as if they were believers. I have in mind a person that's absolutely fascinating me at the moment, and that's Dyson Heydon, that guy that's running the Union Royal Commission, and he reminds me incredibly of people who believe things and act out things the same way every time. A Christian is going to have a certain view of the world, and it's a faith-based view of the world, because most people, I'm younger than you, you will lose this. When somebody believes something for faith reasons, what they're really saying is, I believe such and such is the case without any evidence. If it does have evidence, then it's a science or something else. So I see Dyson Heydon as a man like that. He's accused of being an arch-conservative. And when I finish this little segment, I'm going to give you a piece of real evidence that he is an arch-conservative. You'll be stunned at the evidence, and you'll go away thinking, hey, whatever else he said, that's true. Okay, now, Dyson Heydon is known as an arch-conservative. That means every time there's a conflict, every time he makes a judgment in court, whether he says so or not, he is always going to judge it from a conservative point of view. He might say, I'm a judge and I know the law, I've been trained to do something different, but why is he known as an arch-conservative? Because he always chooses the very conservative view. Now, I don't believe he has any evidence for the conservative view of things always being the case, just as I don't think, say, the rampant left... Oh, do you remember Lionel Murphy from the Whitlam era? He is the exact opposite to what I think Dyson Heydon is. Lionel Murphy, very left-leaning judge, and all his judgments were always left-leaning. So this Dyson Heydon, who is a captain's picked by Tony Abbott to run this Royal Commission into Union corruption, was of course picked because he is known to be like this. He is like a religious person. He is like a staunch Roman Catholic. He is like a staunch Muslim. Everything is judged according to the tenets of their faith. There is no way they can change their mind. And that's why I actually think that we have at the moment in Australia, here political angles coming in, we have in Australia a very dangerous situation where the Prime Minister of the country is an arch-conservative, always is going to act from a conservative viewpoint. He's never going to say, we're in a bit of a dilemma here. You can't imagine Tony Abbott thinking like this. You can't imagine Dyson Heydon thinking like this. You can't imagine Christopher Pyne thinking like this. You can't imagine Julie Bishop thinking like this. There's a dilemma here. There's evidence for if we do something, this will happen. And if there's evidence, if we act according to this way of thinking, something else will happen. What are the consequences that we can see? What are the consequences we can see down that pathway? Is there any likelihood of unintended consequences? There always is. And so these people you would want to make, via discussion, via real consultation, decide which is the better pathway, and sometimes it won't be the traditional conservative one. Sometimes it will be a left-leaning one. So be it. That's the intelligent way to behave. No one wants to be a religious person that always acts in a certain way, although they do, because that's unintellectual. That's an insult to your intelligence. Would that we had politicians, would that we had judges that really did judge according to evidence. I'm not talking about criminal trials. Did he pull the trigger? Didn't he? I'm just saying in their judicial life, why can't we have men who are intellectual and grant that this side may have a point of view that's worth considering and following, and this side may also. He's described as having a razor-sharp mind, Dyson Heydon, and a mind like a steel trap. Watch out, the steel trap hasn't captured things and they're there for his whole life. We're there since he was 17. It'll be interesting when Dyson Heydon brings his razor-sharp mind, won't it, on Tuesday, to saying whether he'll disqualify himself or not. Now, I'm not going to look silly and predict what he's going to say, but the very idea of prejudice and vested interest in judges, which he's given speeches on, doesn't apply to him in this situation. Why doesn't he say, I can't do that? I can't do that. That is ridiculous. He's actually saying, I can do that. I will make a decision because I'm so sharp, a razor-sharp mind, I've got a mind like a steel trap. That's nonsense. He hasn't got a mind like a steel trap. He hasn't got razor-sharp brain. If he did, he wouldn't say, I'm the one that will make the decision. That is asinine. And he would say, if that's the law, that's stupid, and I'm not going to be a part of it. But I want to give you that piece of evidence that I thought that I want to present to you to show that indeed Dyson Heydon is an arch-conservative. Look at his glasses. The lenses are huge, straight out of 1975. He hasn't changed. He hasn't gone along with fashion. It's very difficult not to go along with fashion. That's very hard not to. People say, oh, I'm not a victim of fashion. You are. But he's not. He has got a mind like a steel trap. The glasses he got from the optometrist in 1975, he's still wearing. Huge things. Huge things. People like Dyson Heydon? No. Religious people? No.